So honestly, I'm thinking about switching to Lucid, not because they're probably one of the easiest firms to get a payout with, or because they have probably some of the cheapest all-in costs. No, not for any of that bullshit. The main reason why I want to switch to Lucid is because of this song, actually. Nah, in all seriousness, there's a few reasons why I'm thinking about switching over to Lucid. And towards the end of the video, I'll tell you why I'm thinking about switching over to Lucid and not actually switching quite yet. So if you don't know, currently, I still use Apex, and I honestly still think they're a pretty good firm. From my experience alone, I'm speaking from my opinion, and also given the fact that if you don't have too much of a high pass rate and you're still kind of in the phase where you're trying to figure out what your prop strategy is and kind of going through evals a lot, it's the cheapest overall. I mean, you can't beat playing an eval for $25 if you're not gonna pass. Kind of fucked up, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Now, there's three reasons why I'm thinking about switching to Lucid. The first reason is simply because there is no consistency percentage on Lucid Flex funded accounts. So what this basically means is that there is no consistency rule on the funded accounts. Now, as you know, with Apex, there is a 50% consistency rule, and throughout the majority of my funded journey with Apex, I've been struggling with the 30% consistency rule. Now, is that a helpful feature? Is a harmful feature? I don't know, but for me, it's honestly been quite harmful. I haven't been able to kind of push my winning days as much as I may have wanted to. Say, for example, I could have got to 2,600 in a week rather than 4 weeks of doing this $600 a day as my kind of rule. However, with Lucid funded accounts, there is no consistency rule. Now, that kind of gives you a little bit of leeway if you're feeling good and you have consistency or you have momentum on your side, you can push the charts a little bit more. Now, of course, it always comes with its own cons, but that's one of the biggest reasons why I'm thinking about switching in the first place. The second reason is because there's no buffer needed to be reached in order to get a payout. Now, this is by far the biggest reason why I'm thinking about it. I have been kind of struggling to get to that 2,600 buffer with Apex, and it's gotten to the point where I've gotten really close, and that buffer compared with the consistency rule of 30%, I know it's the legacy account, but even on the regular accounts, there's going to be a 50% consistency rule, which is going to be a lot better. However, those two compared just kind of make it a lot harder for me, especially with the current struggles that I'm going through with now to even get a payout. Had I been on a Lucid account now, I probably would have been able to withdraw 2 or 3 payouts from one single account. But because I have to wait to get all the way to the buffer, I haven't been able to withdraw not even one. Now, how Lucid payouts kind of work is essentially you only need 5 days of profit of 150. So you just need to make 5 days, you just need to make $150, which honestly, given the fact that I trade 1 to 2 minis, is pretty easy to do. When it's time to withdraw a payout, all you simply are doing is just with whatever your profit is on the account. So let's say you have a profit of $1,000, you just can withdraw 50% of it. So in this case, it would be 500. That's the only catch, but at the end of the day, it's far better for me to be able to withdraw something rather than nothing at all, especially given the fact that I'm kind of new to this whole funded experiment thing and I've yet to get my first payout. And if honestly, the first payout serves more of a purpose by giving you the belief system that you can make money from the markets rather than actually making money. So even if your first payout's like $250, at the end of the day, it is money that goes into your bank account, which then reinforces that belief that, hey, you can do this. If you can withdraw $250, what's stopping you from withdrawing $250,000? Pretty ambitious, but you understand where I'm going with that. And the last reason why I'm thinking about switching is simply because the total cost of accounts. It's $84, which is a cheaper all-in cost than what Apex got going on right now. I think Apex right now all in may put you at probably around 125, right? Including the evaluation. 125 to probably like $100. So right now, Lucid does have the cheapest all-in cost. However, the reason why I'm thinking about switching to Lucid and not actually switching to Lucid is because I currently suck. My pass rate is lower than what I need it to be in order to justify looking for accounts that have a cheaper total cost. Right now, my pass rate is 10%, which means it cost me almost $347 in order to get funded, or better put, it takes me to having to buy 10 evaluations just to pass one. Now this is something that I need to work on, and switching prop firms isn't going to help me increase my pass rate as much as people like to think. I know at the end of the day, the biggest variables on increasing this pass rate has to be with my strategy, kind of looking at my style, seeing where I can get better in my overall trading performance. It's performance oriented, this statistic, not firm oriented. Now of course some firms make it easier and other firms make it harder, but still, I would want to say, what's the term for it? The variable a firm plays in the pass rate is very minuscule compared to essentially how you trade in your trading performance. Are you going on tilt and whatnot? And I would say the biggest performance variable has been my lack to control my ability to not go on tilt. I go on tilt almost pretty frequently, every week almost, when it comes to the eval accounts. And I've gotten quite reckless when it comes to eval accounts as well too. So I know that I need to increase my pass rate first before I even think about switching to Lucid, or before I even switch to Lucid. But I am thinking about it, and I'm thinking about it pretty hard. Now I would like to get this video over 10 minutes, so let's do a side-by-side comparison between the plans. So the plans that I plan to go with are, if I was to go to Lucid today, it'd be the Lucid Flex account. Honestly, it's the best account. It's an 84 all-in cost, and then this one is roughly around 24 plus the 99, so you know, for the activation fee, so you'll be roughly around 124. Both the same account size, and what you'll notice is both the same profit target and now maximum drawdown, because with Apex 4.0 they took their maximum drawdown from 2,500 to 2,000. So there's that. Now the only difference is that this has an end of day trailing drawdown, with this one having an intraday trailing drawdown. Right now I currently only trade intraday trailing drawdown, and a lot of people was like, maybe that's the reason why you're losing. No, it's not. The reason why I'm having a low pass rate is because I'm a stupid idiot and I get on tilt very easily. So the trailing drawdown or the drawdown type honestly doesn't matter right now, but this is a benefited perk. Now daily loss limit is none, of course, on both, and then the maximum position size, and I probably should say this is with the eval account, 4 minis for Lucid, 6 minis for Apex. But me, honestly, I don't even get anywhere close to 4 minis. I probably, most I'll put is 3, and if I catch myself using 4 minis, I know I'm probably gonna go on tilt pretty soon. So news trading, yes on both. I don't really care about news trading. Minimum days to pass. Now this is just basically consistency rule. The Apex doesn't have any consistency rule when it comes to the evaluations, but Lucid does. They have a 50% consistency rule when it comes to the Flex account, and so minimum you have to have 2 days at least to pass. And then activation fee, $0 versus a $99 activation fee. Now reset fee, I don't think you should really reset an account or pay a reset fee, but I mean, it is $1 more, but in this case I'm not a fan of that. Now let's look at the funded rules. So with the funded, right, same thing. This is not correct, or is it? This might be correct. I don't think this is correct, actually. Wait, let me check. Yeah, no, that's not correct. Maximum drawdown is still 2,000. Still end of day, like usual. No daily loss limit. Max position size, of course, I don't think this is correct either. You can go up to, I think you can go up to 6, but I think there's a scaling rule. But here's the biggest thing, like the profit target and buffer, right? 500 is the minimum you can withdraw. So that basically means you need to at least have $1,000 in profit, which is a lot easier than 2,600. And you just need 5 days of $150 profit in order to make a request. Now the profit split is of course 90-10, so which means if you withdraw 500, you'd really be getting 450, and they would still deduct 500 from your account. But I mean, it's still a pretty good payout split nonetheless. Last but not least, no consistency rule versus the 50% consistency rule over here. And then you can have 5 active accounts, which honestly will be the go-to for me. I don't think I will have 20 until maybe, I don't know, a year into my journey, but 5 is going to be good enough for me, just because I know that in order to hit my number, I need to make about $10,000 a month when it comes to payouts, right? So that's going to be pretty neat. 5 is going to be good. You know, you could take 2,000 each from them, and then now you have 10K months essentially. We know the payout policy. Maximum payout can be 2,000 per request, and I think after 5 payout requests, they move you up to a live account. So that's why I'm thinking about moving over to Lucid. However, I'm not going to move over to Lucid Lucid until I get my pass rate up to at least 20 to 30%. So this may be a move that I may do a couple months later down the line if everything stays the same. If things change, of course, which in the prop firm industry seems like every fucking day, then I'm also going to change my decision. However, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, gained some value out of it. If you're trading Apex and you have a little bit of a higher pass rate, maybe you should look into Lucid. As you know, I don't have any affiliate promotions. This is just a trader's opinion on one firm compared to another firm, and I'm not bashing any firm or any of that nonsense. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know my motto, be a problem solver, and see you guys next time until the last time.